Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Malemika. Happy Friday to you all. It is night 21 of Snuggles and Stories, and my little buddies are actually both sleeping right now. So I wanted to jump on and make sure I got you your Friday story. So I hope you're doing well, and I think you're gonna like this one. Might sound familiar. It's The Legend of Spookly, the Square Pumpkin. So here we go. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin had hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends, where they had curves, he had ends. Spookly was different. He was odd, he was rare. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. There he is. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he wasn't round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times when it's better to be square. Why do you think it's better to be square sometimes if you were a pumpkin? Take a minute to think. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines and then off they'd go, bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing. What a sight! Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be square that night. That must have been scary for the round pumpkins. Suddenly the fence gave away. 3 pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. Poor pumpkins. Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and he finally flipped. He was on his side. Again he tipped, and then he flopped, and then he flipped, and then what do you think's gonna happen? Make a prediction. He stopped. Right in the gap where the fence had snapped, he blocked the way. The hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray!" Spookly, the square pumpkin, had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked up the pumpkins up one by one. He laid them out in the warm, dry sun. The farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short, dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Who do you think that was? Our pal Spookly. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was a brave little Spookly sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew, excuse me, all of the seeds he'd ever sow, Spookly's were the most special that he'd ever grow. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed the seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, That morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, most of them square. But I'm going to pose a question to you. Do you think you would prefer a round pumpkin or a square pumpkin? Something to think about. Some were cubes and some rectangular, some were flat, others triangular. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes.
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate that. So what's got you interested in working?
That would be cool, to have such a beautiful variety of pumpkins in your garden. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookly's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare, they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. It'd be cool to have options. Now you know the story of how Spookly grew. Maybe someday, if you tell someone too, they'll go tell someone who will go tell another. And maybe one day we'll all discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. The end. I just thought this was a great message on how not to judge a book by its cover and how to just treat people fair and not to, only look at the outside. It's definitely about the inside too. So you guys know that though. You're the best. Well, that's it for me tonight. Avery and Brody are definitely sad that they missed tonight, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You guys know that if you have younger siblings or cousins. So I'm just happy I got to pop on and see you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon.